So I just want to show you real quick today how to make a simple flower using the tiled clone tool. So I'm starting out with a petal shape and a central shape for our flower. I'm going to move our petal to the top and I'm going to align it with the center, horizontally align it with the center of our flower. Then I'm just going to hold my control key and move it down to about where I want it to attach to the center of the flower. The next thing that I need to do is change the center of rotation because the tiled clone will use the center of rotation when it does its thing. So to do that and make it easier, come over here to the snapping tools. Make sure you have center snapping turned on, and also you want your object rotation center turned on. You're snapping to that. Then just come over here, take your center of rotations and snap it to the center of your flower center. Okay, and we are just about ready to do our tiled clone. Come up to edit. First, select your petal. We're only going to be working with the petal on this one. We're going to select edit, clone, create tiled clones. There are two things that need to be set, three actually. One is your rotation. To decide on how much to rotate each column, we're going to divide the number of our petals into 360. So I want 6 petals, so I can just say 360 divided by 6. And that gives me 60 degrees. We're going to be working with rows and columns, but rows will always be 1, and we're going to set the columns to the number of the petals that we want, in this case 6. The second thing you want to change is the shift. Because of the way that tiled clones work, we need to move each column, needs to be a minus 100 shift per column. Those are the only things that you need to set. Then you can press create, and presto, you have your flower shape. You can delete this one petal that is still selected, and then select all of your petals. Actually, before we do that, I'm going to duplicate this center and move it aside for now. Then I'm going to select our entire flower, and I'm going to combine that into a single path. Now you see we still have some overlapping cut lines, so let's unite that. So I'm holding Control, Shift, and the plus sign, and we will unite that. We now have our flower shape. We'll be able to take this flower and duplicate layers of petals, and because they're all connected to this center, it will be easy to glue them together if we want to create a 3D flower. So that's all there really is to it. All I need to do at this point is to duplicate it, change the color a little bit, and then if I want to, I can make it a little bit smaller, or I can rotate it. First, change the center of rotation or to the center of this. I can make it a little bit smaller if I want to. I could rotate it. And then I can basically duplicate it, rotate it, and change the size a little bit if I'd like to. Maybe I'll change that to an even lighter color. And we can finally finish it off by bringing our center back up to the front, taking all of these objects and simply aligning them to the center horizontally and vertically. And now we have our simple flower. Because this is still separate paths, it can be cut with each layer of colors as a separate object when we bring it into our cutting files. And so it could be stacked and turned into a 3D flower very easily. So that is basically how to do it with a tiled clone. Hope that helps.